Hello, you are tuning in to another live edition of VTV News brought to you by VTV International. My name is Ming Hang. Now here are the headlines we have for you at this hour. Banks in Hue City continue to reduce lending rate. Lives of Vietnamese people in Ukraine suffer from the crisis. Now, first is an update on the missing Malaysia Airlines flight. Now, at 2:43 Sunday afternoon, a Singaporean search plane spotted a strange object in the sea. The object was allegedly thought to be part of the wreckage of the missing plane. The strange object was spotted 60 kilometers away from oil slicks to the north and over 100 kilometers away from Central Highlands to the southwest. Vietnam sent a boat to investigate the object. Since it was first informed of the missing Malaysia Airlines 777 jet, the Vietnamese National Search and Rescue Committee have sent out many planes and ships and joined the search and rescue team of 6 other countries in the search for the missing aircraft. Moving on to other news, after a drop in the interest rates of savings accounts with less than a 6-month term that lasted from the middle of February until the beginning of March, banks in Hue City continue to cut interest rates for long-term savings. More details in the following report.
Even after hearing that banks would cut interest rates by 0% per year, Nguyễn Thị Tuyết, Hue resident, still put more money into her savings account.
Though the interest rate went down, I still put money into the bank because my money is safe there, and every month I earn a bit more thanks to the interest. In fact, it's safer than investing in gold or securities.
Starting March the 1st, Maritime Bank lowered its interest rate on a 6-month savings account from 7% to 6.5%. For savings accounts of more than 6 months, the rate fell from 7.6% to 7.3%. A similar thing happened at the Military Bank as the savings rates were slashed by 0.5% and 0.8% respectively. Other banks also lowered their rates by 0.3% to 0.6%. According to bank representatives, the move is reasonable. The first reason for this is that banks now have abundant capital and their liquidity is good. Secondly, the overall economy is troubled and the demand for capital from enterprises is low. Cutting savings interest rates is now common among banks, but the cut is not huge and seems acceptable to many customers. A lot of money went into saving accounts recently, and this is said to help banks lower their interest rates on loans. But to make that possible, more should be done, and according to experts, interest rates on loans stay high for 2 reasons.
First, banks still have a lot of savings deposits at high rates that they took in from customers in the past, and that makes their operating expenses higher. Also, bad debt is a problem. While banks say their bad debt ratio is low, experts believe something different.
Bad debt is one of the reasons that interest rates on loans at a high level. More bad debt means that banks have to set up reserve funds, and that increases operating costs. Therefore, banks are not cutting lending rates for the time being, and consequently, small enterprises will face challenges in accessing loans.
On Saturday morning, Vietnam Electricity, the largest power company in Vietnam, held a groundbreaking ceremonies for the Vĩnh Tân 4 thermal electric plant project. Now, the event took place at the Vĩnh Tân Electricity Centers, Vĩnh Tân Commune, Tuy Phong District, Bình Thuận Province. The Vĩnh Tân 4 thermal electric plant will have 2 electricity stations with a capacity of 1,200 megawatts and will generate 7.2 billion kilowatt-hour of electricity. Investment in the project is valued at $1,700 million. The plant's first station is expected to put into operations about 46 months after construction begins, and the second station will take 52 months to complete. The Central Highlands area of Vietnam is known as the nation's biggest producers of coffee, cocoa, rubber, and of course, pepper. For many years now, the region's farmers have planned to build brand names for their products in order to raise their value. The actual executions of this plan, however, has been modest. Our next report takes at a case of Dak Song pepper grown in Dak Nông province.
Even though Dak Song district only started to produce pepper 10 years ago, it now ranks among the top producers in the province, both in terms of area and output. Many local families have made a fortune from their pepper plantations, thanks to the high prices that the crop fetches.
On average, each hectare of plantation yields 3 to 3.5 tons of pepper. More productive farms may even yield 6 tons per hectare.
The soil and climate in Dak Song district are ideal for pepper. The peppercorns are large and aromatic. However, compared to the pepper grown in other regions, Dak Song pepper earns less revenue.
Dak Song pepper has great quality, but the lack of a proper brand name is keeping prices relatively low.
In 2013, Dak Song district founded an association of sustainable pepper farmers to prepare for the registration of a trademark for Dak Song pepper this year.
The trademark will raise the value of Dak Song pepper, thus improving farmers' incomes. The district has also sent people for training and building a brand name for the product.
With about 2,000 hectares of farming area and an annual output of 6,000 tons, Dak Song district is aware of the need to register a trademark for its pepper. Dak Song pepper would then become the first agro-product in the province to have a registered trademark.
With the peak harvest seasons about to begin, rice fields have yielded about 1 ton per hectare, higher than last year's winter-spring crop, the highest yield in a decade. The Ministries of Agriculture and Rural Development's Plants Cultivation Department expects that the Delta will have an average yield of 6.5 tons per hectare for the winter-spring crop. Besides high yields, farmers have also received good prices and earned high profits. Many farmers in the Mekong River Delta have taken part in production models like large-scale rice fields in which farmers contract with export companies to grow high-quality rice. By doing so, production costs have fallen by 10 to 20% compared to traditional rice cultivation.
Vietnam's varied charms are boundless. They will awaken your senses to astonishing wonder. From sight to sound, from smell to taste, you will be touched in ways you've never thought possible. Vietnam is so charming, one visit is never enough.
Welcome back to VTV News live from Hanoi. State President Trương Tấn Sang has sent a letters of congratulations to Vũ Tuấn San, a Hanoian scholar and a Han Nom or Chinese Vietnamese character scholar, on his 100th birthday. In his letter, the president offered his respects to Vũ Tuấn San, saying that the latter has contributed much in the handing down of best cultural values to younger generations. Vũ Tuấn San has dedicated his life to researching national cultures and become one of Hanoi's finest scholars. President Trương Tấn Sang also sent his best wishes to Vũ Tuấn San's families and colleges. In other news, now the crisis in Ukraine is the current hot issues in world news. Vietnamese people who are living and working in Kiev are also suffering from the crisis, particularly in their businesses. The following report takes a closer look.
Barabasova Trade Center in Kharkov City. There is no change in the Vietnamese shops except the decrease in customers. Although the business of Vietnamese people in Kharkov is affected by the crisis, they still have to work to earn money. My business has been slow, but I still have to pay for my children's tuition fees.
I want to say that we are safe here, don't worry about us. But we still have to work and my business is not as good as before.
Trúc Lâm Kharkov Pagoda is the familiar destination for Vietnamese Buddhists in Kharkov city. Since the beginning of the crisis, many ceremonies have been held there to pray for peace in Ukraine.
We always stay in touch with the Vietnamese embassy in Ukraine to offer prompt support for Vietnamese people who are living and working in the country.
The Vietnamese language class organized by teacher Trần Thị Sang is still crowded, and there's been no change in its schedule. The Vietnamese community in Kharkov is now focused on ensuring the children's education.
For the first time ever, an Áo Dài festival has been organized in Ho Chi Minh City. Themed Áo Dài and Flowers, the festival celebrates the heritage of the national costumes with a diverse program. The opening of the festival also coincided with this year's International Women's Day. Let's find out more.
This is the first time the Ho Chi Minh City has held an Áo Dài themed festival. Almost all the participants, young and old, female and male, have come dressed in the Áo Dài. Siu wears his Áo Dài on special occasions only, and this is definitely one such event.
I think it's great that Ho Chi Minh City has organized a festival to honor the Áo Dài. It's good for tourism promotion too.
2,000 visitors attended the festival on the opening day, way beyond expectations. The festival has also set the Vietnamese record for the most Áo Dài wearers at one single event. In addition to fashion shows, the festival includes a costume design competition, an exhibition, and a seminar on the image of the Áo Dài. The aim is to present an in-depth look into the history of the national costume and its place in society today.
If Ho Chi Minh City calls on all female residents to wear the Áo Dài for one particular day each year, that'd be wonderful. I'm sure that an annual Áo Dài Day will be a tourist attraction. I hope that the festival will become an annual event in the city. It will surely become a tourist magnet.
The Áo Dài is an integral part of Vietnam's cultural identity, so promoting the Áo Dài is another way to draw more attention to the diversity of Vietnamese culture.
And now it's time we take a look at some of the updated weather forecasts. And that is all we have for you at this hour. If you would like to rewatch this program, simply log on to our address at vtv4.vn. Thank you very much for tuning in. Goodbye for now from Hanoi.